TV soap news and spoilers say that in the quiet, tree-lined streets of Fairmont Crescent, where manicured lawns and stately homes paint a picture of suburban perfection, a storm of secrets brews beneath the surface. The residents of this affluent enclave, featured in the gripping drama Beyond the Gates, are no strangers to whispered scandals and hidden truths. But none have captivated the audience quite like the enigma of June, a homeless woman whose tattered existence belies a past that may tie her to one of the neighborhood's most prominent figures, Bill Harrington. Could June be the long-lost daughter of Bill, a man whose legacy is as towering as it is troubled? And if so, what dark secrets might her story unearth? As Naomi Carter, a tenacious and compassionate journalist, digs deeper into June's identity, the threads of a decades-old mystery begin to unravel, threatening to upend lives and expose sins long buried. Let's step into this labyrinth of intrigue and explore the dramatic possibilities of June's story. The shadow of Fairmont Crescent is more than a neighborhood, it's a microcosm of ambition, privilege, and carefully guarded facades. The Harrington family, led by patriarch Bill, has long been its unofficial royalty. Bill, a titan of industry, built his empire, Harrington Enterprises, from the ground up, transforming a small manufacturing firm into a corporate juggernaut. His sprawling mansion, with its ivy-covered walls and wrought iron gates, stands as a testament to his success. But behind the polished exterior lies a family fractured by loss and betrayal. Decades ago, Bill's daughter, Emily, vanished without a trace at the age of 17, leaving a void that has haunted him ever since. Her disappearance was a wound that never healed, a tragedy that cast a long shadow over Fairmont Crescent. Enter June, a woman whose presence in the neighborhood is as incongruous as it is compelling. With her weathered coat and haunted eyes, June is a fixture on the fringes of Fairmont Crescent, scavenging for scraps and sleeping in the alleyways behind its pristine homes. To most, she is invisible, a ghost drifting through a world that has no place for her. But to Naomi Carter, a journalist with a knack for uncovering truths others would rather keep buried, June is a puzzle begging to be solved. Naomi, who has made a name for herself exposing corruption and giving voice to the voiceless, first encounters June during a late-night walk through the neighborhood. Something about June's demeanor, the way she carries herself with a quiet dignity despite her circumstances, strikes a chord with Naomi. She senses there is more to this woman than meets the eye. A clue in the darkness. Naomi's curiosity about June begins as a flicker but soon ignites into an obsession. Her journalistic instincts, honed over years of chasing leads and breaking stories, tell her that June's presence in Fairmont Crescent is no accident. A chance discovery fuels her suspicions, an old photograph tucked away in June's meager belongings, showing a young girl with striking resemblance to the missing Emily Harrington. The image is faded, its edges worn, but the girl's piercing blue eyes and delicate features are unmistakable. Could June be Emily's daughter, abandoned or hidden away for reasons unknown? And if so, how is she connected to Bill Harrington? Naomi's investigation takes her deep into the history of Fairmont Crescent, where she uncovers whispers of a scandal that rocked the neighborhood decades ago. Rumors swirl that Emily's disappearance was not a simple runaway case, as the Harrington family claimed, but something far more sinister. Some say she was pregnant, forced to flee to protect her unborn child. Others whisper of a cover-up orchestrated by Bill himself, a man whose ambition and ruthlessness were matched only by his desire to protect his reputation. Naomi's search for answers leads her to Regina Caldwell, a reclusive former employee of Harrington Enterprises who claims to hold the key to June's identity. Regina's revelation. Regina is a woman hardened by time and betrayal. Once a rising star at Harrington Enterprises, she left the company abruptly in the late 1990s under mysterious circumstances. Now living in a modest apartment on the outskirts of town, Regina is reluctant to revisit her past. But Naomi's persistence, and her promise to expose the truth, convinces Regina to share her story. Over cups of bitter coffee in a dimly lit kitchen, Regina reveals a tale of ambition, exploitation, and heartbreak that shakes Naomi to her core. In the 1990s, Harrington Enterprises was a male-dominated empire where women like Regina faced constant pressure to prove themselves. Regina, then a young administrative assistant, witnessed firsthand the darker side of Bill Harrington's leadership. She speaks of a culture of intimidation, where female employees were often subjected to inappropriate advances and coerced into silence. Emily, Bill's own daughter, was not immune to this toxic environment. According to Regina, Emily confided in her about a troubling encounter with one of her father's business associates, a powerful man whose influence extended far beyond Fairmont Crescent. When Emily discovered she was pregnant, she feared her father's wrath and the scandal that would follow. Regina helped her escape, arranging for her to stay with a distant relative in another state. But Emily's story ended in tragedy. She died during childbirth, leaving behind a daughter who was placed in foster care. Regina's voice trembles as she recounts the final piece of her story. The child, named June by her foster parents, was never told of her true origins. Regina lost track of her over the years, but the photograph June carries matches one Regina kept from her time with Emily. The revelation hits Naomi like a thunderbolt. June is not just a homeless woman with an unknown past. She is the granddaughter of Bill Harrington, the product of a pregnancy shrouded in shame and secrecy. But the story grows even darker as Regina hints at a deeper truth. The man responsible for Emily's pregnancy may have been involved in a pattern of sexual harassment at Harrington Enterprises, a scandal the company buried to protect its reputation. Naomi's crusade. Armed with Regina's testimony, Naomi sets out to confirm June's identity and expose the truth about Harrington Enterprises. Her investigation becomes a race against time as she uncovers evidence of a cover-up that reaches the highest levels of the company. Old documents, hidden in the archives of a local law firm, reveal a series of settlements paid to female employees who accused executives of misconduct. The names are redacted, but the pattern is clear. Harrington Enterprises prioritized profit over justice, silencing victims to protect its image. Naomi begins to suspect that June's existence and Emily's disappearance are tied to this web of corruption. Meanwhile, June remains unaware of the storm brewing around her. Naomi, torn between her duty as a journalist and her growing bond with June, struggles with how to approach her. Should she tell June the truth, risking her fragile trust? Or should she protect her from a past that might shatter what little stability she has? June, for her part, begins to open up to Naomi, sharing fragments of her life. A childhood spent bouncing between foster homes, a vague memory of a woman with kind eyes, and a sense of belonging she has never found. Naomi sees in June a resilience that mirrors her own, a spark that refuses to be extinguished despite years of hardship. As Naomi digs deeper, she faces mounting pressure from those who want the truth to stay buried. Anonymous threats arrive at her doorstep, and her editor warns her that going after Bill Harrington, a man with powerful allies, could cost her career. But Naomi is undeterred. She enlists the help of a private investigator, Marcus Tate, who has his own reasons for distrusting the Harrington family. Together, they uncover a bombshell. DNA evidence, obtained from a hairbrush June left behind, confirms that she is indeed Bill's granddaughter. The revelation sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation that will shake Fairmont Crescent to its core. The reckoning. The climax of June's story unfolds at a gala hosted by Harrington Enterprises, where Bill is set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Naomi, armed with her evidence, crashes the event, determined to confront Bill in front of the city's elite. The scene is electric with tension as she steps to the podium, her voice steady but laced with righteous anger. She lays out the truth. Emily's disappearance, the harassment at Harrington Enterprises, and June's identity as Bill's granddaughter. The room falls silent as June, brought to the gala by Naomi, steps into the light. Her presence is a living rebuke to the lies that have defined the Harrington legacy. Bill, his face a mask of shock and denial, struggles to respond. The weight of his past decisions crashes down around him as the truth is laid bare. Some in the audience call for justice, while others, loyal to Bill's empire, attempt to dismiss Naomi's claims. But the evidence is undeniable, and the tide begins to turn. June, for the first time, speaks for herself, her voice raw with emotion as she demands answers about her mother and her past. The confrontation is not just a reckoning for Bill but a moment of catharsis for June, who begins to reclaim her identity. A new beginning in the aftermath, Fairmont Crescent is forever changed. Harrington Enterprises faces a barrage of lawsuits and public scrutiny, forcing Bill to step down as CEO. Naomi's story, published in a searing exposé, sparks a broader conversation about accountability and justice. June, though still grappling with the weight of her newfound identity, finds a sense of purpose. With Naomi's support, she begins to rebuild her life, moving into a small apartment and enrolling in a community college program. The road ahead is uncertain, but for the first time, June feels seen, not as a ghost on the fringes, but as a woman with a story worth telling. The mystery of June's identity is more than a personal tragedy, it's a testament to the resilience of those who survive in the shadows of power. As Beyond the Gates continues to unfold, it challenges us to question the cost of ambition and the price of silence. Will June find peace in her truth? Will Bill face the consequences of his actions? And what other secrets lie hidden behind the gates of Fairmont Crescent? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.